I play a little piano. I play guitar.
What is that? A little piano? Like a miniature one?
Literally the tiniest piano you can find. Like a tiny piano.
Okay.
No, just
Welcome back. I'm Maria Garcia. I'm a ambassador for the College of Engineering, and I'm studying mechanical engineering. Today, we have a special guest.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beal, Aubrey Beal. I am a new professor here, tenure track, new-ish professor. So I guess I was here during the before times, right before the pandemic. And yeah, I have got a PhD from Auburn. I'm an electrical engineer, and I study electronics and dynamics, nonlinear dynamics and chaos. I build cool and surprising things using electronics, and we use those to try to impact important problems in the world. It's sometimes very difficult to build electronic systems that do things that are unpredictable, and believe it or not, a lot of people need that kind of thing. So,
You mentioned chaos.
chaos, yes. A fun word. Yeah.
Can you elaborate just a little bit?
So,
Okay, cool. So, what are you currently teaching, or what have you taught since you've been here?
I generally teach like signals and systems kind of courses, so that includes like a discrete time signals and systems course that we have in our department. I also teach electronics. That's one of my favorite classes to teach is electronics.
It's called that, or
It has a longer name.
okay, okay. All right, that was like,
electronics.
there's electronics everywhere. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
I teach 315, and then I teach graduate kind of classes in electronics and IC design, integrated circuit design. I also teach nonlinear dynamics and chaos.
Chaos. Thank you. Let's see. If you were to rate all of the engineering disciplines or kind of put them on a totem pole.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, don't be shy.
Okay. Rank them all.
On top. Who's on top?
I don't know if I know all of the engineering disciplines, but
Okay, off to a bad start.
you don't want to hear this.
Oh.
But
No,
all
no.
engineering disciplines. No, it's electrical. Just all the
According
others
to
are
Dr. Beal.
tied. All the others are tied.
So, so the way that, well, that's like a horrible pyramid, by the way.
Yeah.
Only like 2 layers.
It's unfortunately the truth.
Well, see, okay, so you say this, but I don't think that there's a totem pole. I think that there's like a level, right?
Yeah, so that's why all of them are tied except for
Oh my God.
it's because they all work together. I'm easily fascinated, to be honest. I had a really hard time choosing my path because I kind of fall in love with every subject.
Going into that, okay, so you mentioned how you were very, fascinated with all the subjects and stuff. How did you know to stick with your discipline, or how did you know that you were going to go on to STEM, like when you were, back in the day when you were an undergrad student?
I was always fascinated with electronics, so that was part of it. But I don't really have a good answer for that. One of the things that clued me in that I was in the right place was the people that I would meet. I tended to really mesh well with people in engineering. So I have a lot of friends, colleagues, and mentors who are mechanical engineers, who are
Absolutely.
electrical engineers, computer scientists, computer engineers. And there's groups of those people that have a lot of fun, joke around a lot, and had a lot of the same kind of sense of humor. So it seemed.
So would you say that engineers are funny? Like, I don't think that that's what STEM is known for. What would you say?
I don't know. There's not many stand-up comics, I think.
No.
But, I don't know. I don't know if engineers are that funny or not. Or maybe sometimes we are and we don't realize it. I don't know. That
Sure.
counts, I think, right?
I guess.
So I don't know. I don't know. No comment. I have no idea.
No, you made a comment and then you said, but no comment.
Yeah, erase it. Strike it from the record.
Strike it, redact my statement.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so what advice would you have for a student who's kind of struggling with either going into college and making sure that they pick the right major? Is there a right major for anyone? What's your opinion on that?
I have a probably strange opinion on it. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Excellent.
I mean, I'm being honest. And I think that that's something that is maybe part of the issue whenever I was going through university was that people kind of, it seems like it's all planned out and there's not a room to make mistakes or to change or something like that. And it all is all happening like when you're at a very young age, so you're kind of developing. So it's kind of difficult. So my best advice would be to stay open and trust your gut and stay consistent. There's also during that time, I also was developing a lot of maturity too.
Good. Good for you.
Well, I'm still working on it.
You're still working. Okay.
But there's this minimum level at which you need to have this amount of maturity to study enough to get through the calculus sequence. If you're not there,
Calculus is not even that bad. I'm not gonna lie.
well, depends on where you take it and how you take it, I guess. Yeah, for some people that can be a big hurdle. For others, chemistry is a big hurdle. It depends on the person, right? But I think historically it's fair to say that physics and calculus sequence ends up at a lot of universities weeding people out of an engineering program. That's, I think, a pretty fair statement. I'm not sure that we always use those as weed outs, but it is one of these first major tests of maturity. And if you feel some friction there, it means that for whatever reason, there's study habits that you have to basically develop. And so that would be my, this is my 2 cents. I'm going to stop wandering and just answer the question. So if you want to learn something and you try to find the piece of it that makes you fascinated and excited, and just honestly stop every time you don't understand. Don't glaze over it. I do this in my office all day, for a living now. I read something till I don't understand it, and then I'm honest about when I don't understand it, and I go back and I try to find when was the last time I understood, because this doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Sometimes I've got to go way back. And I think that people who struggle, for example, in calculus sequence or something like that, they will find, I don't quite understand the unit circle, and I thought I did, but I need to understand it in a different way. That trickles all the way into, that type of thing trickles all the way into signals and systems. I thought I understood what e to the j something is, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to think about the fact that it's
So it's
imaginary
a foundational
yeah, it's
thing.
foundational. There's this disconnect with some students that as soon as I get through this class, I never have to think about it again. Now I'm in engineering, and that's not the case. Those wouldn't be there. It's confusing too, though, because you want to have a university experience, so that means you need to take history. You need to take these other things too. Mm-hmm. And maybe we're not going to quiz you on American history to get through your signals and systems class, but those are the things that I end up delighting in now at this point in my career, is those connections that are multidisciplinary. I think those are super important too, and it's just part of being an educated person. Maybe that, strike all that from the record if it doesn't sound right. I don't know. Those are some thoughts.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe that's helpful.
This you touched on something that I took not to heart, but I resonated with it because you did mention those foundational classes, and so today, in one of my classes, it's not going as well as I would hope. Just because there are so there's the foundations, and I'm 75% there with the foundations. Well, now there's a remix of the foundations, and that's the class, right? And it moves very quickly, and it feels like I'm gonna die. But what would you say to a student? What would you say to me? What would you say to me? What would you say to me if I don't want to quit? I really don't want to. I really want this degree. I've been fighting for this degree since I got here, basically. Yeah. Is it okay if I just take a little bit longer? Is it, Yeah.
Absolutely not. No, I'm joking.
Oh, Jesus.
If you feel like you're struggling with a class, there's 2 things. You either have to be determined enough and prepared enough to retake it.
Okay.
Or to think about the piece of it that's missing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it is not crazy to think that, yes, you passed a class, maybe there's something you forgot, or maybe there's something that wasn't covered that you might have needed. So now it's kind of on you to dig through a book and
So
think
it's
about it.
on me. That's what I'm hearing.
That's the unfortunate truth, is it's on me too. Whenever I'm learning something, that's part of whenever I get to a spot I don't know. That's why I sit down and I just kind of trickle back, and I'm just like, how much of this did I know up until this point, and where did I? The best thing that you can do is simple problems before they get harder too. That's something that I
Okay.
can't stress enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah, so all of engineering, in my experience, even the most difficult problems are always like, they're not as hard as you think. They're a bunch of tiny problems leading up to the bigger one. And if you,
Okay.
and that's something that sometimes, especially with new graduate student or even very bright undergraduate students, you can tell that they're going like 90 miles an hour in their mind, but they will skip over some of the most simple foundational pieces. And then I think that
I feel very called out.
well, I'm not, I don't know. But so that happens in like a study situation too. It's just like, well, these are the class examples of these are in the book, and this is the type of thing I might see on a test. It makes a lot of sense to start at the beginning and not just like the hardest problem on the test, right? Like it might be built from other concepts or rearranged in a way that you'd have to be creative.
I've seen that. I've seen that
yeah,
in
absolutely.
exams. That's what saves me on exams is I'll see, oh, like that was what they answered over here. Like this is question 2,
Yeah,
but it's being asked in question 45.
Yeah, I can invert it and put it in like the third piece of this other problem.
No, yeah, like
and now you have to think a little bit
Big
more
brain.
clearly. Yeah,
Big brain for
That's-
sure.
I do the exact same thing.
Excellent.
On my test too.
Amazing. Thank you so much because I would think like complete like thank you. Keep doing that.
How about this? You'll be fine. You just have to consistently apply yourself. You'll be surprised, like if you just do something a few minutes a day, it adds up.
What's your hobbies?
So my hobbies are.
Don't say making tests.
I used to have hobbies.
Oh my god. No.
I still have hobbies.
Okay.
So I like to play music still.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so how many instruments can you play?
Well, I can play any instruments, but not
well. Yeah, okay.
Yes, but I'm fearless. Like I will attempt to
well-played
play
instrument.
an oboe if you want me to. I'll try to play. If you can find
I
an
love the oboe.
I will try my best to play it. I won't be able to. When I was a music major, I was a vocal major. I was a vocal performer.
You sing.
Um,
Sing for us, right?
my
Drop a
My-
tune right now.
well,
Ariana Grande song.
He doesn't know it on Ariana Grande. Like,
yeah.
look,
wait,
acoustics are on.
that'll be another episode. We'll have to set it up.
When we
You
did the
can do that.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do that. I like old electronics. I like old computers,
Mm-hmm.
mechanical keyboards. I like building synthesizers,
Coffee or tea?
coffee,
Why?
America.
What?
I don't know.
Coffee's not even grown here. We get it from like Colombia and
but
like
I'm thinking
Brazil.
diners, right? Like in Britain.
Waffle House.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Coffee.
Are you
is
from the
good.
South?
I am from the South. Yeah.
Where? Which state?
I'm from Alabama.
Absolutely.
Grew up actually near Huntsville. I came back
Oh.
because I like.
Do you?
I do. I think we live in one of the most beautiful states and one of the most beautiful regions.
How many states have you been to?
I've been to many states.
Okay, because I was like, if this is
from?
your, I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, there you go. Birmingham's also very beautiful.
You're just saying that.
It is. Birmingham's amazing.
It's pretty tight. I would say number 1 city in the entire state.
Oh, it is nice. It's up there. There's two. So all the
Let me
cities
get-
are on one level, and then there's one.
Huntsville is up top. Are you said you're from around Huntsville. Are you
Yeah.
from like Madison or something?
I'm from Scottsboro.
I have a buddy from there. Yeah.
Really?
Okay. Just one.
I know him probably. No, I'm
Yeah,
joking.
you probably do.
Well,
Isn't it
not a
small?
very- It is. It is not a large. Well, acreage. There's a lot of places to go, but there's not a lot
Sure.
of people.
Yeah.
So
People to land ratio is
yeah,
not.
it's it's a gorgeous area. I really love Alabama. I think it's a beautiful place. Honestly.
This is not Stockholm syndrome. I'm sure. Like it's.
So I moved here from Poughkeepsie, New York. When I worked at IBM. in Poughkeepsie. I was at IBM Research before moving back here. So we built NASA here because it's very beautiful.
That can't be the only reason. Right?
I think that actually
Was it?
that was one of the
That was
main
the sell.
reasons-
That was the seller.
Well, you'll find out this is wrong, and that's fine. But I had always heard that it, like the valley and the way that the mountains were reminded a lot of the German scientists of where they had grown up, so they were kind of partial to this area. So I think that that's
Wow.
There's other reasons too. I'm sure it was
Sure.
not the most expensive place, and that probably
I
helped,
bet.
at the time. And then, but yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Excellent.
Tennessee Valley, man, it's gorgeous. Are you serious?
You mentioned IBM. You said you did research there. What'd you research?
We built electronic power supplies for supercomputers, high performance computers that would predict weather models. They would do other stuff. Most of the research I do is with industry as well as academic and government
Okay.
kind of institutes, and a lot of it's nonlinear dynamics, chaos, electronics, integrated circuit
Chaos.
design, chaos, and students can join me and learn about all these things. We're building systems no one has ever built before, and learning new things about them, new physics, new engineering. It's
New physics.
sure, absolutely, yeah.
Do you think that what we've been learning for the past maybe decade here as undergrad, will it go obsolete anytime soon?
No,
No.
it's all good stuff.
All good. Really?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I'm not sure you can. A lot of people, it's held the test of time. All the linear,
What, like 50 years?
Yeah. Well, some a lot longer than that.
Yeah?
For sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Apple,
Yeah.
falling,
Well,
gravity.
Yeah, mechanical engineering. You go back if you're studying.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
if you're
Yeah.
studying
Us, yeah.
dynamics, that's going to go back. To Newton or before, where it gets pretty sophisticated. So yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Beal. Will we see you at any of the eWeek events or the showcase?
I will be at an integrated circuit design conference in San Francisco, so I will not be.
So no.
Yeah, I will be on the other side of.
It's next week, right? You're leaving next week?
Yeah, I'm leaving Friday.
Well, good for you. I hope you have a great time.
Thanks. That is one state. That is the one state I've never been to is California. I've never been
Good.
to California, so
Expanding.
yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see how it holds up, if it's on the same level as all the other states,
Or
or if
will
it's
it
on
be
the same
two
level
dots?
as Alabama.
2 dots. 2 dots and everyone else.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you think if the apple hadn't fallen on Isaac Newton that we would all be floating right now?
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to argue.
Yeah. For sure.